how to channel energy to get what you want in life. Welcome to the channel. My name is Aeron Lazar. I'm a multidimensional psychic, and part of my soul's mission is to bring spirituality and spiritual knowledge to you in a way which is easy to follow and in a way which is very, very down to earth and easy to understand. So thanks very much for joining me here for today's video. Before we begin, please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps us grow and helps us to help you. And it also means that you get notified the second that we release a new video on this channel. So thank you very much. So how to channel energy to get what you want. So the first point I want to make in this video is I'm going to be talking about how we can tap into and utilize galactic frequency and energy to influence our reality rather than bending people's will. So there is a big distinction there. The way I teach is of the light and of a high vibration, and I'm a big believer in karma. And I would also advocate for anybody watching this video to always stay on the right side of the line and to respect the universal law of free will at all times. So again, to recap, to caveat this video, this is about utilizing galactic energy to upgrade your frequency signature to get whatever it is that you want in life rather than bending people's wills. So that's an important distinction. So enjoy the video. Here we go. So there are a couple of fundamental principles, okay, that I would like to explain to you before moving forward and explaining how we can control our reality with frequency. So the first fundamental principle that I would like you to comprehend is that you think, or you may think, that we live in a physical reality, that every single thing is solid and is physical and is quite dense, basically. But actually, if you go to the core of this entire reality, you'll see that it's formed and it's made up by energy, frequency, and vibrational signatures. It was Nikola Tesla who was quoted and said that if you want to understand the true nature of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And so nothing really is solid. It has the appearance of being solid, but it's all energy and it's all frequency. So this is the first fundamental principle. Now I'm going to come to fundamental principle number 2. So the next fundamental principle that I'm going to talk to you about, that I would like you to comprehend, is that around all of us, we have what's called an electromagnetic field. Okay, so I like to refer to this as like a frequency egg. So it's different to your aura. Don't think it's the auric field. It's not. It's a personal energetic field that sits around us in the shape of an egg. And it's different for different people. Everybody has an electromagnetic field. Some people's fields are bigger than others. Other people's are quite shrunken. But we all have these energetic fields that sit around us. Now, a fundamental principle of what I'm going to talk to you about today is about frequency signature. So within your energetic field, you have many different things which affect your overall frequency signature that you send out. So what you send out is the equivalent of an energetic fingerprint into the universe. It's perfectly unique because of your own experiences, your ancestry, your past lives, etc. And it's completely unique to you. So you are giving off this unique frequency signature that is like a fingerprint. Now, what makes up this frequency signature that you send off into the universe? Well, it's lots of things. So like I say, there could be some ancestral patterns, karmic patterns, discordant subconscious belief systems. You could have pain and trauma that is sitting in your field, and it all adds up, okay, to a overall frequency signature that you send out. You broadcast this unconsciously into the universe, and the universe responds. So your frequency signature is almost like programming instructions for the universe. Okay, so just think of it like the universe is sending you reality based on the information within your personal energetic field that you are sending instructions to it to send to you. So again, it starts with us, goes out to the universe, and it ends with us in the reality that we experience. So those are the two fundamental principles. The whole of this reality is energy, frequency, and vibration at its very, very core. Okay, and when we comprehend that, we can learn that when we start to be able to work with and manipulate frequency signatures, that we can affect reality, right? And then the next principle is that we have this egg that sits around us, this personal energetic field, that's made up of a whole heap of programs and patterns and pain and trauma and belief systems and all of this kind of thing that sit within it. And that adds up to an overall frequency signature that you send out automatically. And that is like your energetic fingerprint. It's unique to you. But that fingerprint, those programming instructions, tell the universe what to send you. So if we can alter that frequency signature that you're sending off, we can therefore alter reality as if by magic and alchemy. So this is the fundamental principles. Now I'm going to talk to you about how you can get what you want by channeling galactic frequency. So please listen up. So what frequency are we going to be channeling to change our energetic fingerprint, our energetic signature, to therefore change our reality? It is going to be galactic frequency that we are going to channel. And I want to talk to you a couple of different points on this, because it's important that you understand the bigger context. It's not just a case of, okay, I go to the quantum field, I just channel any old frequency in, and I'm going to get what I want. Because all of us have different hopes, desires, goals, dreams. We all want different things from this reality. And so there's no one size fits all frequency signature to cover everybody's desires, wants, dreams, goals, and hopes, is there? So what you're going to be channeling is unique to your own desire. That's important. So therefore, we've got to be quite specific about where we go and get this stuff from. So you need to appreciate in the first instance that each galactic race that's out there, and if you consider that every living soul and consciousness is having a physical incarnation, some of us are human in this lifetime, but going on right now, there are countless other galactic extraterrestrial races having physical experiences. They all have souls and consciousness, and we're all made of this same source energy. We just reincarnate as different races in different lifetimes. But each of those different extraterrestrial races have a collective consciousness grid, just as we do, just as human beings do. So here on this planet, we have a collective human consciousness grid. So, you know, if you are empathic or sensitive, you might pick up on these collective energies. If there's a lot of collective tension or fear or anxiety or excitement, for instance, you might be able to pick up this within the collective. But we're all, as a human race, we're all connected via this energetic network, this energetic grid, which is called a collective consciousness grid. Well, you can extrapolate that out to all of the other extraterrestrial races that exist in every single dimension. They all have collective consciousness grids. Now, in order to be able to effectively pull and channel galactic frequency from these collective consciousness grids, you need to be able to connect into their collective consciousness grid and to be able to pull that energy. It's like plugging into a power source and then pulling some of that power into your own energetic field. So the energy that you're going to pull from these different collective consciousness grids, I call them, myself and my wife coined the term, we called it consciousness technology. Now, you might have heard it called grid work, templates, light codes, upgrades. It's all effectively the same thing. It's energy that's pulled in from different collective consciousness grids. Like I say, we at the Architects of Destiny, we call it consciousness technology. So anybody you hear referring to consciousness technology comes from sort of one of our schools. But effectively what it is it's technology, it's frequency technology that we can pull in from these different collective consciousness grids, which basically upgrades our energetic signature in certain specific ways and areas. And what that does, it tweaks our frequency fingerprint or signature that we send off into the universe. And then what happens is you're effectively sending the universe different programming instructions, and it therefore sends you a different reality automatically. So again, this is where the alchemy comes in, and the wizardry and the sort of Jedi stuff. And so effectively think of it like pulling it in, and consciousness technology is basically frequency that's going to fine tune and tweak your energetic field to get you whatever it is that you want in life. Now, you need to know where to go and get the right frequency for what it is that you're looking to achieve, or what it is that your desire is. So I like to, if you've been following this channel for a while, you know the way that I like to teach is in a down-to-earth way, but I like to speak in analogies, because analogies paint a picture, right? It paints 1,000 words. And then the penny starts to drop, and it's like, okay, that's how it is. So I like to talk in analogies. So if you are looking for a specific piece of frequency that's going to give you financial abundance, it's going to help you with social media, it's going to help you heal your pain and trauma. I'll talk to you about the different kinds of upgrades a little bit later on in this video. But however, if you consider that each of those is different, okay, and therefore they come and you channel them from different locations and different collective consciousness grids, you need to know where to go and get what. So the analogy is this: if you were looking for a screwdriver, okay, now, you know, you would start to consider, what's the right kind of store or shop for me to go and get a screwdriver? Well, you know, if you think to yourself, you know, I want to go and get a screwdriver, would you go, if you're in the States, would you go to Trader Joe's, or would you go to Home Depot or a Walmart supercenter? You'd probably go to Home Depot, and you'd probably go to a Walmart supercenter looking for a screwdriver, or some kind of hardware shop looking for a screwdriver, rather than a grocery store or a supermarket that sells food. Do you see that they're both stores or shops, but they sell, or they've got available to very, very different things, right? So you need to know where to go and get this stuff. So if you're looking for the screwdriver, go to Home Depot, go and get it where it's good, right? Don't be looking in Trader Joe's amongst the pasta sauces for your screwdriver. This is magnificent, it's magical, it's frequency, it's energy, and it's vibration, and it's consciousness and spirituality. But we can apply common sense, folks, to frequency, right? And this is part of the energy that I turn up in here. I try and teach spirituality in a very, very down-to-earth, common sense way that's practical and that you can sort of implement and start to change your life with. So start to think in logical, practical terms, yeah? If I want the screwdriver, I'm not going to go to where it sells pasta sauces and fruit and veg. I'm going to go to a hardware shop to get that. It's the same with galactic frequency. Now, it's quite nuanced, because unless you've got experience or you're trained in it, you're not necessarily going to know the collective consciousness grids, where to go and get certain types of frequency. That comes with experience. It needs to be taught. So it's not a case of just jumping into this and just kind of instinctively knowing where to go. You need to kind of probably find a community or people who can share with you where is good to go and get certain upgrades. So I'll give you an example of some of these upgrades if you want me to. And if you want, share in the comments section if you would find it useful for me to make a longer video on which galactic race is good for which upgrades, that you can go and do that. I'm happy to do that, because it would be a really interesting video, and I think you'd find it a valuable resource. But just take it for the sake of this video that there are certain upgrades that are better from different extraterrestrial races. Okay, so they all have their strong points, and they're all very, very different. So it's good to know where to go and get this stuff. So just bear in mind, just for the sake of this video, I'm not going in depth into where exactly to go and giving you maps and the frequency signatures and stuff. I'll do that in a different video if you want me to. Let me know in the comment section. But just safe to say that you need to know where to go and get these specific upgrades so that they have the maximum effect in your reality. So I want to give you some examples, because that would be really cool. And if you're interested and you've made it to this point in the video, you're obviously really interested. So I want to give you like a different couple of different examples of these different upgrades, including an example which I absolutely pioneered and didn't exist until I connected to the Arcturians, and the Arcturians shared this technology with me, which I brought down here to Earth. So again, really interesting examples for you. So I'm going to start with that one first, because, pardon me, it's very, very close to my heart, and it's something that I've now helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people with. And I teach people how to do this. Pardon me. So the first example that I want to give to you is that what I've nicknamed the Arcturian codes of bitter medicine. Now, anybody in my audience that is familiar with the codes of bitter medicine, essentially what that is channeled galactic frequency administered into somebody's energetic field, the egg that sits around them that I was speaking about. And what that does, it enters the body and it stimulates what's called the emotional purge. So all of your old past pain, emotional pain and trauma that you've held on to within your physical body, because that's what happens. Your physical body is like a hard drive for pain and emotional pain and trauma frequency that sits in there. That's why once you've been through traumatic situations, you can find yourself really triggered and you're feeling those emotions and things again, right? Because you're tapping into what your body's storing. In order to properly heal your emotional pain and trauma, you have to release this frequency from your body. Now, there's the analog way of doing it, which is processing it all through journaling and healing your younger self. There's breath work, people do plant medicine and all of these great techniques. However, a brand new technique which I pioneered with the Arcturians was doing it with galactic frequency. We live in a sort of modern era. Everything's quantum, everything's instant. Wouldn't it be great if there was a method to heal your pain and trauma which totally condensed timelines and it was over and done with? And rather than it taking years to heal your pain and trauma, with consistent work using this frequency, you can do it in a few weeks or maybe sort of a month and a half or 2 months, and it's done. And once we've done the work, we've healed it, right? So why not try and do it in the quickest way possible? So this was a method which I pioneered, and I'll explain. I didn't know I was pioneering it at the time, but it turns out it was a brand new method which I brought down. I'm going to share it with you. If you want me to do a longer video, let me know in the comment section. And what I'll do a longer video here on YouTube all about the codes of bitter medicine, because there's healing frequency that you can get, different strengths of it from different galactic races. And there's 3 main ones which I use, but I'm going to talk to you about the Arcturian ones here, and because that was the first ones that I came across. Now, Arcturian codes of bitter medicine, the strength of it is a really good, robust healing frequency. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It kind of gets in there. It's suitable for most people. And it's, like I say, it stimulates this really strong emotional purge, and people are literally purging this energy and the emotions out of their chests. It's a profound, strong experience, So how did this come about? Well, it came about because the first time I remember connecting to the Arcturians, at that time, I was going through my own healing journey, and I was basically purging all of these patterns. My field was clearing, etc. And that was just not long after what I call my greater awakening, which happened later on in my life. And I started to access these higher states of consciousness and different galactic races, okay? And I'd been studying with the Arcturians, and I went with them I went to them with my consciousness, and I said, look, have you got any upgrades that can really help me with what I'm going through at the minute? And then they came back and showed me that they could share what's called the codes of bitter medicine. They call them healing codes to begin with. And the healing codes are designed to heal people's emotional pain and trauma. So I was using this on myself to begin with. So I was downloading this frequency and I was experiencing these huge emotional releases, and it was profound. It was just such an incredibly strong energetic experience and an emotional experience, as all of these emotions were just pouring out. There were days where I didn't want to get out of bed. It was just so heavy. All of this stuff from the past was just leaving my field and my body. It was amazing, right? Intense when I look back, but amazing, like by the end of it. Wow. And basically what happened I thought to myself, wow, this is phenomenal. I didn't even know that this existed. I need to go and find other people here on Earth that are doing this, because this is just sensational. I've never heard of it before. And I went out there and I looked and I looked and I looked and I looked. I couldn't find a single person that was doing this, healing people's emotional pain and trauma with galactic channeled frequency. And then it kind of dawned on me, after sort of trying to do some extensive search and finding people who could do it, I just wanted to connect with them, and I just go, oh my God, this is amazing, right? Couldn't find a single person. And it dawned on me, and I thought to myself, well, obviously this is like a brand new thing. This is like a pioneered new modality. And I do feel that that's so apt and true of the human experience, is that our consciousness abilities are growing and evolving all the time. You shouldn't think that our spiritual abilities are in a box. We've got a set amount of spiritual abilities and we're never going to get any more, because our consciousness is growing and it's evolving all the time. And I feel like sort of learning and understanding how to channel galactic frequency to heal people's pain and trauma, and myself, my own pain and trauma to begin with, is just an example of that. It's just an example of human consciousness evolving and new abilities coming online. I mean, I'm sure in the future, you know, human consciousness will come to the point where humans are levitating and moving physical objects and things. We're not quite there yet, but it just goes to show that there's new abilities that are coming online all the time, right? And the codes of bitter medicine were a part of that. So what I started to do then, I started to use this, the codes of bitter medicine in my client sessions. And it was absolutely profound. People had never experienced anything like it before. And again, those individual one-to-one sessions took off, where I was healing people's pain and trauma with galactic energy. I was bringing it to my communities. I started to create programs around it and teach people how to do it. And it's been really amazing. And hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people have benefited from this. And it's now a thing. And there's now people out there who are also channeling galactic frequency to heal people's pain and trauma. It's amazing, right? So that's, you know, if your desire and what you want is to heal emotional pain and trauma, the codes that you want are the codes of bitter medicine, right? So that's one example. Then another example for you, okay? Let's say what you want from life is financial abundance. I'm just giving you a different example, and there's many, many other things. I'm just giving you two quick examples here, okay? So let's say you wanted financial abundance. Well, probably you wouldn't go to the Arcturians for financial abundance. The best shop or the best supplier of abundance frequency would probably be the Lyran felines. So if there's any Lyran feline star seeds that are watching this, share in the comments how you feel around abundance. I bet you feel abundant by nature, just embodying that energy. You like the pretty shiny things, the velvets and the little trinkets and jewelry and things like that. That's just standard Lyran feline frequency. And if you want financial abundance upgrades, the Lyran felines are the place to go for that. So those are the two examples I just wanted to give you, including, like I say, I probably excitedly shared about the one I pioneered, but it's just indicative that there are infinite amount of frequency upgrades that change your signature to whatever you want, which basically then the universe will then send you, based on those new programming instructions, a brand new reality. So those are two examples. If you do want me to do a longer video on all the different examples and where to go and get the codes and all the rest of it, share in the comment section and I will do it for you. But like I say, it's just really valuable information. So I really hope that you've got value from today's video in relation to that. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It helps us help you. There's going to be two things that are going to be linked in the description for you. Okay, so the first is our annual transformational program, which is called Transcending Dimensions. In that, it's a 6-month program that we run once a year. And what we do within that is we completely transform somebody's energetic signature from inside out. So, you know, I've mentioned before, we lift all the ancestral patterns, the karmic patterns, the distorted subconscious programming. We heal all people's pain and trauma with galactic frequency, and then we teach total energetic mastery, which is all the Jedi stuff that goes along with it. And by the end of it, the end of the process, somebody's energetic signature has completely transformed, Therefore, their reality has completely transformed after 6 months. So the link is going to be in the description. Go check out Transcending Dimensions. Like I say, it's one of our flagship programs. Myself and my beautiful wife, we run this once a year. Go and check that out. The other link is going to be to our Jedi School of Light, which is called the Quantum Club. The Quantum Club, we're nearly 5 years old. We've been going for 5 years, and we're a thriving community of light workers, starseeds, and like-minded individuals. Within that, it's a Jedi School of Light, and it's a consciousness spiritual development school. So we run weekly live classes within that on every single subject that you can imagine spiritually. And it's designed to help everybody grow and develop. And we cover every single subject from spiritual protection. We do consciousness immersion sessions. We do channeled energetic upgrades, consciousness technology. At the moment, we're running what's called the Starseed Summer School. So we're going and studying in groups with these various galactic races. And it's fantastic. We meet every single Thursday for live sessions. And within the community, there's also something that we call the Vault, which is an online, on-demand streaming platform, which allows you to go back and to watch every single session that we've ever done. So I think there's about 350 hours of recorded content in there, full of potent, channeled energy. And it's just a fantastic place. So again, in the description, go and check out the Quantum Club. It'd be great to welcome you into our community. And thank you very much for joining me here on today's video, and I will catch you next time on the next one. Thanks so much. Take care and stay blessed. Bye-bye.